It is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth, along with
B Baker.
Because when it's about sports,
it becomes our business.
And business still a little bit slow, but it's still picking up. We getting there.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. What's going on with you?
Man, everything is good. Stan isn't here tonight. He's taking care of some. It's all good. Family things, all good. Just gotta take care of family. So he won't be here tonight. Definitely hope to have him back next week. But slowly but surely, man, looks like they're trying to open up things, which I don't personally agree that it's right to do yet.
They jumping the gun.
You know what I'm saying? But in the sports world, sounds like they're slowly trying to get some stuff started. The NBA talking about opening up some camps or training centers for the players, even though there's some pushback already for that. Baseball trying to get something together where they may have 3 divisions overall, Central, East, and West, and playing certain locations, and then maybe around June, July, maybe having them play back at home. Hockey is talking about having certain stadiums, even including St. Louis, to be part of a hub. So it's slowly trying to get there. Don't know if it'll be really official, but how you feeling right now about everything?
Man, it's just up in the air. I just think they money is everything, so they feeling that pinch, so they trying to push it. I feel like safety should be first. I feel like this is something we never seen before, so there's no rules and no guidelines to it. So a lot of people got their theories. I know there's a lot of science nerds out here that's saying, "Oh, well, this don't make no sense. It ain't adding up." Blah blah, and that's true. But at the same time, it's people's lives been taken because of this. And that's more important than anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like they should take the necessary precautions. Really think everything out a little bit longer than what they have been, and you know, it's just because, like I said, it only take one person to catch it. You know what I'm saying? It'll affect everybody that they're in competition with. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about more than just yourself. And you know, if everybody's got to take a year off, you know, it just is what it is.
Hey, I totally agree. You know, take your time. We still haven't even heard a freaking cure.
That's what I'm saying. Vaccine, none of that.
We ain't heard no kind of resolution.
So I'm talking about putting Lysol on people injecting it. Like, that's how crazy they getting with it, man.
You know, maybe that's the reason why he acting so crazy now, because he
been crazy.
He been crazy. He had that injection since he was. All right, we'll keep that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show right there, man.
But thanks for tuning in, y'all. Once again, your boy Smooth, B Bake right here. We have a great show in store. Later on, you'll be seeing another champ in the building. You know, we've been having a few champs. You know, we had a guy named Champ. We had
Champ Johnson. What up, boy?
We had the St. Louis Trouters, you know, coming through. Had the big old trophy and everything. In the past, we've had.
And speaking of the Trouters, we gonna tie into some of the stuff we brought up with them with this guest.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, we got some more good hoop talking about.
Hey, love it, man.
Yeah, man.
I love how it all connects. You know what I'm saying?
Man, St. Louis so small, man. It's like. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know each other. Even if I don't know you, I know all your people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one name I drop, all of a sudden make us family. So, you know, we all connected, man. And like you said, man, it's just continuously, we've been around good people. Like your cousin was on here last week. You know what I'm saying? It was a pleasure meeting them. That was a great interview, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, man. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody that we come in contact with been solid. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I appreciate the most is we getting a chance to show everybody why we know that they solid. You know what I'm saying? Give them a chance to tell their story and get people to understand who these people are and follow them and see what's going on. Because we got a good sports culture here that a lot of people don't know about.
Exactly. So, Andy Greer, 3-time champion, St. Louis Slam football, professional women's football league. Even though I know right now they hurting because of the pandemic. Can't have the training and stuff. We'll talk with our guests about that, which once again we'll bring him on very soon. Man, but
Jermaine Turner, I had just talked to him. He, you know, he in the ABA, so their season getting postponed because of it too. So I texted him for a little bit yesterday. We talking about some other stuff, but I need to ask him how that's going too.
So whole lot of news, even though we don't have the sports, but we still have a lot of news going on. But for all those watching, whether you on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, thank you very much. Please share this stream right now. Hit that share button on Facebook. Hit that like and retweet on Twitter. and on YouTube. Just share off the page. Let everybody know what's going on so we can have more people tuning in and showing love as we have another incredible show today.
Yep.
The roundtable.
Oh, man.
Starts right now. So, breaking news happened today. Came out of nowhere, and I wish Joe was on because I know that she's gonna have some comments about it.
Yeah.
But Yadier Molina, he had an interview with ESPN today, and early in the season he was saying, okay, if the Cardinals and if they don't re-sign me back, I'll go ahead and retire. No problem. It's all good. He says after this pandemic gave him a little different perspective. Like, well, since I haven't been playing already, I might have enough juice to last more than 2 years. So if the Cardinals don't re-sign me,
entertaining going somewhere else, we lose our entire culture if he gone. That's it.
St. Louis fans, Cardinal fans, what are your thoughts on Molina having this thought of playing for a different team? Initially, I was like, whoa, hold on. But nowadays, it can't surprise you.
Nah.
Because look at what Pujols did.
Yep.
Hell, if Jordan played for a different team.
It's like when he played for the Wizards almost.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, that's how it's going to feel for us.
Right.
No, I'm saying that's how it's going to feel for us.
Right.
So, man, I don't know, man. It's just like when you watch Shaq play for like 4 teams in 4 years.
Right.
Like, when he went to the Suns, I was like, come on, Shaq. Like, you
really?
now. Yeah, like, you better than this, man.
The Celtics?
Oh.
Number 36?
He played with Bron, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 36.
Number 36?
37. I was like, man, he's just doing stuff, man. So, that's just going to be weird for us, bro.
Certain things just don't look right.
Nah, it just don't never really curl all the way over with us, man.
Right,
That's one, man. And it's a loyal town, especially Cardinals, man. So, when people leave here, it's like, man, the only person I remember cheering for is Pujols when they came back. Everybody else, you just kind of like, I ain't going to hate on them, but I ain't going to cheer for them, though, man.
Right.
So, yeah, that's going to be crazy, man. I hope he don't, man. I hope he just flexing his muscle, trying to pull a Scottie Pippen on him.
Trying to find a deal.
Yeah. So, hopefully that's it.
Which I don't know, because the Cardinals, man, they really want to move on from him, not in a disrespectful way, but they have a future right there. Andrew Kisner. Then you got a cat from Memphis who's looking very good too. I forgot his name. I apologize. I'm pretty sure some of the Cardinal fans may bring his name in, but they have a future. But like, look what they did with Carson Kelly. Yeah. They had to go ahead and trade him.
Yep.
Because he'd been waiting in the wings for like 3 years, but couldn't get on because who gonna push Yachty out the way?
Exactly. It ain't gonna happen.
So bombshell, but we gonna see. We gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The NFL draft happened last week. First time that they had it virtual, in which
that was crazy.
What was your overall thoughts on?
I didn't watch
the process?
I didn't watch it. I was working. I just kind of had my headset on, listening to the picks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We all knew what Joe Burrow was gonna go. I don't know if he gonna turn it around necessarily, but we all knew that was gonna happen. Lamb going to the Cowboys, just watching the clips of that. I ain't see it live, but I kept hearing it. I gotta see this, bro. I had to hurry up and stop it and go see it. I'm like, come on, man. So they supposedly, if y'all ain't see the clip, he had 2 phones and his girl took one of them and he snatched it back like, nah, hold up. Supposedly he said it was an agent calling him. He didn't want to answer the phone at the time.
God, it's the agent.
Yeah, so that's the story we gonna roll with, man. Tua went down to Miami. I think that was a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a couple picks that got moved around. My boy Jalen Hurts going to the Eagles, I feel like that's going to be good for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stan really like that move.
Man, I love that, man. That's a good move for him because I feel like he definitely going to be more than a quarterback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shouts out to Drop Off TV on YouTube.
All right, what up, y'all?
Asking for our guest. He's coming very soon.
We got to give him the proper intro. We getting all this out the way because it's all about him when he get on here, man.
Speaking of which, so for all the first-time people, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube real quick. Check out all our previous shows because you'll know that we have been doing this for 3 years strong, and it gets better and better. Great interviews. We've had a line of coaches, former players on former players. We've had media personalities. The show just continues to get better and better and better. So stay tuned. But the guests will be coming up very soon. Thoughts on Jameis Winston going to the Saints?
I mean, I don't feel either way about it because it's a 1-year rental again. You know what I'm saying? It's a good backup in place. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I said about Taysom Hill, though, I just feel like he going to get lost in the shuffle. He just keep getting pushed further and further back.
I don't think they see him as that franchise QB.
Right. I don't think he's going to be a starting quarterback for them, but his minutes at quarterback definitely going to diminish because of Jameis Winston, though. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't feel no type of way about it because if he start acting up, and we just shuffle him down the bench and he just be there for 1 year and gone. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is with that one.
I like the move because he has an opportunity to be behind one of the greatest QBs in the game. Your boy.
Yeah, if he really lock in and learn from him, he could really be somebody, man. Especially with that Sean Payton offense that he got. And he need to get cool with Michael Thomas real fast. That's what's gonna get him. All in. That's what's gonna get him his money.
Being with Breeze, being with Peyton.
Yeah.
That should be. You can't ask for nothing better than that.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't ask for anything better than that. Yeah. So
I'm rooting for him, man. Just like Teddy. You know, Teddy got his money and gone, but he had a good season, man. He got a chance to shine when Drew hurt his thumb last year. So, you know, God willing, we won't have no injuries, but still let him get his time to get some reps in and learn and, you know, get comfortable with everybody. Because Drew only got, one, maybe two left in him anyway. So
Right. Yeah. All right, man. So I did have some other ones, but another topic, but I wanted to wait until Stan was here because I know that it would have really ruffled his feathers a little bit when he saw the post made by Draymond Green of Golden State.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But we'll go ahead and wait on that.
Yeah, wait on that one.
So we're gonna do a switcheroo, man, because I know the people are looking forward to it, man. Sir. So it's definitely an honor, man. I was able to contact this man through a mutual friend, someone I've known for a while. I'm like, after this man did an incredible feat here in the Lou, I said, man, I gotta get him on.
Yeah.
I gotta get him on.
Right,
you know
definitely.
And I'm just thankful that he was able to, come in and even better to join us on the set.
Yeah.
During this time, I know it's not easy for a lot of people, but he made it, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So, everyone, without any further ado, we're going to bring on to the getaway officially, everyone. Show some love to Class 3 state champion head coach from Cardinal Ritter Prep basketball team, Coach Ryan Johnson. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Glad to be here. Thankful as well, for the opportunity.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Thanks once again for coming through.
Yeah, man.
You, being a man of your word, definitely appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
Definitely appreciate it.
No doubt.
So, right off the bat, just have to ask you, man, that moment when the clock went down and you realized, man, I straight won a championship as a head coach. How did that make you feel?
Man, to be honest with you, I told this story, when we were talking to the news people after the game. I told them before the game, I was in tears. You know what I mean? Just because I already knew what the moment was going to be. I already knew that we were going to win. You know what I mean? Just all the time and the effort and all of the work that we put in. I couldn't get out my pregame speech. I couldn't get out the tools, the keys to win the game, none of that, because I was overwhelmed with the fact that shortly we'll be champions. And we worked so hard for that, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how it went for me. So when it was over and it actually happened, it was just like I already knew.
Man, that's crazy.
I already knew.
Yeah, it has to be an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
Are you still on that high?
Yeah, I would say so. You know what I mean? We didn't get to properly celebrate the situation, you know what I mean, due to, the pandemic or whatever that's happened. But, for us, too, it's business as usual. We back on our group chat. We back to getting to the grades. We back to trying to get our workouts in. So, it was expected because we put that time and that effort in. But we also appreciative of, being able to, had that feat of being able to be called the Class 3A champ.
That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Cardinal Ritter has a extreme great history.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Of
absolutely.
state championship basketball.
Man,
Absolutely.
I've been watching them cats. And I was in 7th grade, man. Coach Jackson them had that camp down there on Emerson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's to win with them,
Yeah.
you doing your thing,
Yeah.
man.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have a few comments already. He says, yo, what's up, coach? Is that Nigel?
Nigel. Yeah.
He says, what's up, coach? He said, got that hat on. We know you don't have a cut.
Hey, man, it's
Quarantine.
quarantine, man.
It's the quarantine life.
Man, Wolverine.
Yeah,
He
man.
know that. He
Right.
seen me, so he already know what time it is.
Then we have Rayshawn Pate says, what's up, coach?
What's up, Sean?
There we go. Once again, everyone share this stream right now,
share
whether
it.
on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Bring them comments. We got you covered.
Yep.
Got you covered throughout the whole show, man. It's going to be great. Then Nigel says, coach was crying like a baby boy.
Dang.
You're not supposed to tell
Right,
me. You gonna let me
man, that's locker room etiquette,
Let
man.
me tell the story. Hey, he gonna fall under the lines of what's the guy from the Lakers?
Oh, D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo
Yeah.
Russell. You telling too much stuff, man.
Man.
You can't be giving the locker room conversation, man.
Yeah,
So
bro.
keep that in.
So is Nigel one of the players?
Yeah, he's one of my
Okay.
players. in
Okay.
my team. Yeah,
Shout out to you, man. Go handle your
sure.
business.
That's what's up,
Sure.
man. So that means once you start practicing in the gym, you're going to have them running suicides right away, right?
Yeah, no, it's good. You know,
Everybody.
on the line. They know they get on the line for less things. So it's good.
Right, there you go.
Uh-huh.
Man.
That's what's up, man.
You just sneeze over there on the line.
On the line.
On the line.
You cough?
You ain't trying to bless you on the line.
For sure.
Oh, man. So let's go all the way back to younger years, man. When did you realize that you wanted to be part of sports, man, overall?
Oh man, shoot! If I let my mother tell it, it was the day she had me. You know what I mean? I always had a ball or some sort, or wanted a jersey, put on, you know, a number shirt. That's what she would tell me. You know, so it's been something that's, you know, been passed down in our family for years. You know, we had a lot of athletes, a lot of good, you know, players, or, you know, whatever may be inside of our family. So it's just kind of like a tradition. So I would say since she had me.
So was she big into sports with your father or other family members?
More so my mom and the rest of my family. You know what I mean? My mom, shoot, she's like my assistant coach right now. She's at every game. You know, she helps me with my training company. She knows all the sports, all the ins and outs of everything. So shoot, she's the leader.
That's what's up.
Shout out the Wits.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that you would ask me about my son if he was part of it.
Right.
Which, like I said, I don't actually know if he actually was.
Right.
But tell everyone about, if you don't mind, Wits.
Yeah, well, I also do a training company called Whatever It Takes to Succeed Training Academy. It's WITS, you know, abbreviation. We've been doing it since 2011. It's 2020 now, with the mindset of teaching kids, you know, having that mentality of doing whatever it takes to succeed, whether it's your work on the court, whether it's your work off the court, you know, schooling, everything. You got it's a mentality, you know, of thinking that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. So, you know, that's something that I've started a while ago and just, you know, kept it going up until now.
That's what's up, man. What motivated you to want to take part in helping the youth?
I think it's just something that I seen growing up. You know what I mean? It kind of hit home a little bit as you get older and you're an athlete. You're like, well, what's my next step? You know, every athlete wants to be a pro, you know, or whatever it may be. But toward the final years of college for me, you know, as it wind down, I wanted to be, you know, some sort of trainer or coach or teacher. You know, I told a story also of just going into my college AD's office after my last game, and I know they had let my college coach go, and I told him, I said, well, I want to apply for the job to be the head coach. And the guy looked at me, he's like, man, you got some balls to come in here and say that as a player, but it's just something that I knew was inside of me that I wanted to teach, I wanted to coach, you know, I want to mentor and help others, you know, and maybe give them an easier path than I had to get to where that they want to go.
Let's see, we have some more. Wait a minute. Is that the father of Jason Tatum? Is that Justin Tatum? Says, congrats, coach. You still have a couple to catch up with Big Cuz.
Yeah, that's my big cuz right there.
That's
But
what's up.
Yeah, no, most definitely. you know, I started my coaching thing with Justin. You know, we've done it at, Soldan and, at CBC as well. And then, he told me to go ahead and go over at Ritter and do my own thing. So that's kind of how that happened. So shouts out to Justin for sure.
That's
He's
what's
a
up.
big part of what I got going on. So.
And Justin, congrats to you and with your success with your school. I know you had the top prospect, a player in the league. Caleb Love going to UNC, doing big things. I know you've bred a lot of great stars, including once again your son as well, Jason.
Absolutely.
And I love how humble he remains. Still repping the league, rocking. Is he part of Team Jordan now?
Yeah.
Then you had like some St. Louis bred shoes and everything.
I seen Justin when I was coaching AAU. He's coaching his little son, and his fire for even the 5 year. I think they was like 5 or 6 years old at the time, man. So he definitely making his stamp. You know what I'm saying, with coaching. He was a great player, but stepping into that coaching realm, he definitely took that on, man. So shout out to him for that one too.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So a wonderful program, and hey, we would love to have you on the show, Justin. If you have time, hit us up. Let us know, man, so we can make things happen. Because we all about getting these stories out. You know what I'm saying? We know we're not Fox 2 and KSDK, but we still got something special right here.
We the homies though.
Exactly. Yeah. So we definitely are on the way. Once again, the Platform Sports Talk Show. Doing big things, goes down every Wednesday night. So continuing on, man. Jerome Douglas says, shout out to the OG. I believe we talk about Mom Dukes.
Yeah, for sure.
Then S Lines. Who's S Lines?
That's actually the principal of our school.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Coach of the Year, good brother, a blessing to our Warrior Lion Kings.
For sure.
There we go.
That's right,
man.
So thank you for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. And I spoke to you before the show, bringing up how we had Coach Brennan Spain on the show a few weeks back. So definitely check out that interview. You'll see his picture on the on one of our thumbnails. Check out that interview with him. He definitely brought a fire, a focus. Like, hey, whatever happened back then,
that's back then.
Back then,
that's right.
We have a goal. You know what I'm saying?
Him with that. Yeah,
so and he's definitely supportive of the show. So definitely look forward to it. Willie Davis says, "Nice jacket, Coach."
Thanks, Willie. Appreciate you.
So is he?
That's one of my players too.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, he trying to avoid the suicide.
It's all good. Right. I appreciate you.
He said, "Make your free throws, Willie."
And that's actually Willie Jr., Willie Sr., who played with the Trotters.
Oh, Pep, that's Pep brother.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when we talking about played against Spreewell at Forest Park.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I seen Willie Davis. I'm like, hold up, man. I seen this son play before.
And like we said, everything just connects.
Yeah, and my boy Glenn's son play for him too. So we all know each other, bro. Like, it's crazy,
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Once again, share. Let's get these comments going, y'all. Let me see here. So once again, just and how long have you been at Cardinal Ritter now?
This will be my third year. Finish up my third year there at Cardinal Ritter.
Okay.
When I first got there, I was assistant coach for Randy Reed. And then, he retired, and then I took over. So, last year was my first year, and this is just my second year as the head coach at Cardinal.
To work quick.
Yeah.
right out the gate.
Blueprint.
We've had Coach Adriel Betts, Jason Betts from
Clyde
Miller. I've known him, personal friend of mine. So, hey, we making up the rounds, man.
That's
and
what's up.
It's good to know that we know good people.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
And everyone is being successful.
Yeah.
They're making an imprint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
proud of y'all, man, for real. Real talk, yeah.
So for those who are saying St. Louis don't support each other and da-da-da-da-da, hey, we got proof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's proof.
Yeah. You got haters everywhere, but they ain't none down here. You know what I'm saying? So,
like my boy Sadal said the other day, ain't no hateration, no holleration.
Oh, my God. In this dancery. I hear that part.
Oh, man. Jerome says, I thought that was Tory Lanez. Y'all was interviewing.
Hey, man, chill out. OG Detroit. My man Jerome from Detroit, man. Man,
He close to Canada, but Tory Toronto.
All good.
Yeah.
So what school did you go to? Background, high school, and then going to college.
High school, went to CBC High School. Won a state championship. We spoke about that with Larry Hughes and Justin Tatum, as well as a few other guys there. I was a sophomore; they were seniors. Left Christian Brothers and went to the University of Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Played football and basketball there, you know, down in the 901. Then once I left there, entered the draft as a junior in the NFL. Didn't go the way I wanted it to go, and then I went back to school because I knew I had that option and played basketball at a Division II at Henderson State in Arkansas and got my degree down there.
Okay.
So that's kind of that background right there.
Okay.
So when you played football, what position?
I play receiver and I specialize in punt returns as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So tell us about the experience of playing with a potential at that time pro and Larry Hughes and just the CBC team at that time.
Man, it was a crazy thing. You know, Larry put a lot of work in, a lot of time, and I was there with him, you know, putting it in with him and seeing it with my own eyes. So to understand that work ethic and what it could be to see a guy that could be a top 10 draft pick in the NBA, man, is crazy. And to see how all of that stuff kind of fit around him, and then him going to SLU and then being drafted and his NBA experience, him allowing us to, you know, be there for that ride, man, it's a thing that I could say that a lot of people have never seen, and it's something nice. It's something nice. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful for that opportunity to be around those people. Shoot, just being with him, you know, he's played for, you know, several different teams. So I've met the LeBrons, met the Michael Jordans, and the Coach Browns and all of these people, and had conversations and interactions with these people. So, you know, it's only made me a better man and a more professional man to see all these different cities and these different people, you know, and how things work on that level. So, you know, it was definitely a great experience and taking all of that in.
Yeah. So during that time, did y'all feel like rock stars?
Man, yeah, I would say so. And we were young too. Right. You know what I mean? When he went, I was a senior in high school. So I'm going on trips and doing, you know, seeing things as a senior in high school that my kids in my class would be like, what's going on?
Right. You know, he was playing with AI at the time.
Absolutely.
That was crazy.
So that was a whole nother experience and a learning time for him as well. So we got caught up quick. Yeah, what the NBA life is like.
That's crazy. And we had this discussion a while back how and just so you know, I went to the V, so before I get to the travel part. But I recall when both teams that state, and like y'all, we were close to playing y'all. Man. I was there like, man, come on, we can play. See, that would have been like an incredible game.
Everybody was there. Man. Everybody was in Columbia at that time. It was so much, you know, noise being talked. You know, throughout the whole situation, you know, what's going to happen when they meet each other.
Oh, man.
What's it going to be? Who's going to win? How's it going to go? But, you know, one team didn't make it. They didn't make it. So
I ain't make it.
So we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. They didn't want that experience.
I mean, you know, we did make up for loss. You know,
absolutely. Absolutely. We got a lot of wins
we can brag about. You know,
that's the year y'all should have went, dog.
A lot of wins down there.
That was definitely one of those big what ifs. Because that would have been the classic. Like y'all could have had ESPN at that game before.
They was there anyway. I remember when y'all played Webster Groves. And they was trying to decide who was best between Johnny Parker and Larry.
Man, and I will admit, man, I was a huge fan of Johnny Parker back in the day. He was a fan of his, man.
I don't think people even understand the type of basketball that was played back then. Like it was just on a whole nother level. As far like now the kids are so more they're interactive and they're more friendly with each other versus competitive, you know what I mean, and wanting to step up on that stage and go at each other, and that was life for us. You know what I mean. We couldn't wait to get to the gym, or or however it may be. We want to get at it, right? That's just how we were brought up. But times have changed a lot. I will say that.
So when you came into CBC and you knew about Larry, you knew about Justin, did you ever feel any kind of intimidation?
No, not intimidation. I would say more so shadow. You know, they casted a large shadow over what I had going on, and for me to escape that shadow, I had to work extremely hard. Because they're always remembered. This is 6'7" and a 6'6" guy. shit, I'm 6 feet. You know what I mean? How can I amass the same things that they put out in front of me? You know, and that just came with hard work. And I think that's kind of, you know, why I work as hard as I do now. Just that particular part of my life, I just knew that, you know, I got to get at it. You know, if I want to be even mentioned in the same breath as these men, you know, and the things that they've done. So I got to get to it. So that's kind of what made me who I am.
It's just crazy because how close y'all are, how much y'all train together, how different y'all games are.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got 3 completely different games.
Yeah.
You know, Justin was low post, solid.
Yeah.
Larry was the wing player. He was the floor general.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So, going back to what you said about being competitive, it's just funny now because, like, all the guys we got on this show, I ain't like none of them when we was young. I never spoke to none of them cats. Like, we was enemies. Matter of fact, when I first met him was because I played Larry in AAU, and this cat was in the stands going in on us, dog. I'm like, who is this cat? Because he was a young dude. I think he was like, because I think it was like Larry Jr., so he probably was like a freshman or 8th grade or something like that.
I think I was a freshman.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
and Larry like, nah, that's my fam, dog. I'm like, man, what are we going? I mean, we went after each other, dog, because of that, because he started that before in the layup line. Like, y'all about to, we was at, I want to say like McClure, somewhere in North County. But, you know what I'm saying, all the guys we have on this show, it's just a mutual respect now for what we went through back then. But it definitely wasn't no, oh, yeah, what's up, man? What y'all doing after this type of stuff? It was never there. We couldn't stand each other because you was the dude in the way the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with the way they doing it now. It's just like you said, it was just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, you know, like you said, back in the day, you see that opponent jersey, you knew it was
hate him automatic.
Exactly.
And your coach made you hate him even more than you did.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got in trouble for helping somebody up or, hey man, good shot. Bro, what?
Yeah.
No,
You said down after that. Yeah, what you talking about, man? Nah, you shake hands after the game and that's it.
So we had a discussion a few weeks back, speaking about the good old days back at Normandy, playing those classic
I ain't never
Normandy.
played Normandy, did y'all?
We never at CBC did. No, we didn't. But
Did you go to the games though?
yeah, we went to the games, and then we also, when we started coaching,
Yeah,
spot, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Especially with Soldan, we was in.
I was in there, so then, yes sir.
But yeah, we speaking of Cardinal Ritter, man, we was talking about that infamous time where the V played Cardinal Ritter, and at the time it was Chris Carrawell, it was Lauren Woods, it was Jahadi White, and Lauren Woods,
Jamie Price,
right.
Almost the whole team.
Right.
And I was a little dude just watching. I stayed around the corner.
And I mean, they had classic games. And for those who know what I'm talking about, leave an emoji or comment on your experience on
All fire
on the good old days of packing out Normandy High School. You see lines from the front door all the way to the parking lot. It'd be cold outside. You don't even care because you trying to get in, stay in the room only. You know, that was just and you actually did kind of feel safe. It wasn't like it was like, it wasn't like a whole lot of issues. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knew that they wanted to see ball. You know, but we talked about Lauren Woods and the infamous when he got ejected and the crowd was booing him. He just did all salute. I was there. I'll never forget that moment, man. But it was just stuff like that I miss nowadays. It's like you don't have that kind of.
He got a hell of a camp going on right now too. Lauren Woods Academy. He got a nice camp.
I think he in Phoenix, right? I
don't know where his location is.
I think he in Phoenix or something like that.
Yeah, El got a nice little camp going on too though. Shout out to Lauren.
Before I continue, we got a few comments here. We have Zach K. Imway said, congrats to one of the best young basketball coaches in the country, Brad Bill Elite, Tim Holloway.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Tim. Yeah,
so there we go.
Okay.
Tim, BBE, yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right.
I also coached with them in the summertime, so, had a last summer with my 15U team. We went to the Peach Jam, made to the Final Four, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's coaching don't stop for me, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I find all the venues that are hot and very testy to get better. So that's one way and one avenue that I've done, and I love the BBE family for the opportunity as well.
We have Stacy Klaus. She says she waves. So what up, Stacy?
What up?
Hope all is well. Get them shares going for us. We definitely appreciate it. Then Bradley Bill Lee basketball. Once again on YouTube, they say congrats, Coach RJ, one of the best young coaches. So pretty about the same on Facebook. Hashtag fly high.
I wish I was young though.
Man,
I wish I was
because
young.
if they would have had all this stuff, man,
Oh my
all
God!
it is now.
You gonna turn me into a hater right now, man? For real. Like, man. I mean, like, man, you know how hard. That's why, like, I'm jealous of y'all because of the attention y'all got and stuff like that. Because I'm like, man, we used to go crazy and nobody knew who we was.
And the kids don't get it.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's one thing I'm blessed to be able to have the opportunity, to have that conversation with my boys. You know what I mean? To help them understand. Like right now, man, you got a golden opportunity where it's people and you got avenues and outlets that allow you to express yourself and you to be seen. Whereas we had to fight to get somebody to come in and look and give a scholarship, and man, it was just they have no idea.
No,
you know what I mean. And right now the conversation is, are you taking advantage of that platform that you're getting? And right now, some of the kids don't take advantage of it.
Right,
which is the craziest thing ever.
Yeah,
you got all of these avenues to be seen, watched, get scholarships, whatever it may be, and you do not take full advantage of it. That is I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Man, the worst thing for me is I lost all my footage, and I'm like, I just wish YouTube was around because it'd been out there forever.
Right.
I would never have to worry about losing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm one of them kids that went to the little small schools and from the hood and everything like that. So when we played the big cats, you know what I'm saying, it was like the nod of respect when y'all see us later, but then nobody, they be like, they go, old boy. I remember he was on 40 or he was at Forest Park, you know, this and that. Because you like, oh, somebody with a name just came in? I got him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me get it.
Like, man, yeah. Y'all got to see, man. I ain't just doing this in the PHL. I do this for real, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's facts.
What's that, slap the floor. Come on.
Oh, yeah. And then that's what made the dudes as legit as they are. Because if you was the dude back then, somebody was coming at you all the time.
Coming at your neck.
You can't even go shoot on a milk crate. Here come about 15 cats running outside. Yeah. What's up? So you got to perform every single time. Yeah. So if you was a dude for real.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
We have Lance Young Sr. says congratulations, RJ.
Yeah, for sure. That's Lance. Lance went to Beaumont, was a killer back in the day, class of '99.
Yeah,
he went to Wisconsin to play football.
Yeah, that's how he played football too. I went to Val right down the street. So I played against. What's up, Lance? What's up with you, boy?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Once again, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. Keep on sharing. Let's go. We have Brand Webb. Congratulations on an amazing year. Well deserved, Coach. Hashtag salute.
Appreciate you. That's down in Texas. So we reaching down in Texas right now. That's
okay.
Appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir.
That's what's up. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. KHI says, yeah, Coach. Not sure.
Okay.
I can't see the picture real good.
Gotcha.
Willie Davis says, salute, Coach. RJ, the GOAT. Was that Malachi Davis?
Yep.
GOAT.
Yep.
Okay, so we got a GOAT.
Right, yeah.
In the midst of the platform sports talk show.
We gonna keep working for it.
There we go, man.
Make sure y'all check them out when the season open back up. Cardinal Ritter, man. Football and basketball going crazy.
Yeah,
hey, should sound like Cardinal Ritter is like the hotbed, the place to be right now.
And you know what? I've just been, like I said, I've been in, different areas of teaching and coaching. I've been at public school, private school, and to be on, at that particular school where I am right now is, African-American driven, African-American led, the teachers inside of the space. When you talk about men in the building, we got 15 to, 16 African-American males that are in there teaching and are mentors and that's stuff that you don't see. You know what I mean? Like in different institutions. So to have that in that space, and then what we teach, academic excellence, faith development, and leadership. So all of those pieces together, it's different. Yeah. And to be in that space to actually see it, you hear Cardinal Ritter and you think sports and you think all of these different things, but it's so much black excellence in that space that allows you to be like, man, I need, somebody else need to see this. Some kids need to be a part of this. It's different.
Yeah,
you can't get it anywhere. Like, we one of the only private Catholic black schools in the country. You know what I mean? So to be able to do that piece, as well as add the athletic piece inside, it's a nice place, man.
Yeah.
It's a very nice place, and it's only getting better. Getting a new football field, we getting a new weight room, all right now turf. So things are gonna change around there, because weight room was small, field was, potholes in it, but things about to change.
So
we
you got to
about
have
to get
room
on the
to put
even
that big
playing
old
field.
state champion.
All of that,
in there.
getting that together, getting the rings together, jumbotron outside. We trying to get it all. And now,
the heart of the city too.
we trying to get it all together. So
You're a state champion.
They're more lit up.
That's right.
That's
right. That damn
Man, the hot
motherfucker.
bed. That's what's up, man. It's good to see. Like I said, man, seeing what's going on in the area.
Yeah.
Seeing the success.
Yeah.
You know, it's important for these kids to see what success looks like.
Absolutely, absolutely, and like I said, just the piece of being a teacher in public schools, and you don't see black males.
No.
You know what I mean? And
Sure
then to
don't.
be successful and strong looking, like we like superheroes. You know what I mean, to our kids, and that's what it should be like. You know, the news always portrays different. Different stories, negative stories, or whatever it may be. But what about the positives? Like y'all said, the hate and all that. What about the positive stories in St. Louis that we don't talk about? That's what needs to get out there. So, I'm glad to be on that side of it.
Yes, sir. And that's the goal of this show, man. Like I said, we just trying to get it spread out to where everybody get all they shine,
Right.
and just have people follow them and be like, man, I seen such and such.
Right.
You heard about blah, blah, blah. Get that barbershop talk and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's so much positive stuff, and then it's funny because all the people we played against, now they kids playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it make us even more excited to see, like you said, I seen names pop up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about they pop first.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
hold on.
And I'm like, I know he a good kid because I know his dad. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, so let's see. We got some more nice comments. Okay, so Bradley Bill Lead Basketball says, ask the coach about those degrees. Okay, the brother is educated and a great example, not just talk.
Okay, then.
Okay, yeah. So tell us about these degrees, man.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely a college graduate. Also got my master's as well.
Okay.
Maybe even be thinking about getting my doctorate too, if time permits that. But definitely got my master's and graduated as well in my field of education. So I'm definitely proud of that, and that's something that I always talk to my kids about too. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to be an athletic man, but how are you when you go into rooms with educated people? Can you hold a conversation?
Right.
When you leave from talking with them, do they feel like, damn, that guy right there is extremely educated? That's the piece that I get more excited about. Being able to go in different rooms and hold intelligent conversations with people and show them my intelligence side.
Yeah.
Whether, not showing them my athletic ability. So, and that stuff lasts way longer than being able to jump in the air and run fast, because that's gone.
Yep.
As well as hairs. You know what I mean? All that stuff is over with.
Yep.
But you can always live and push forward with intelligence and education, and that stuff lasts forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We just touched on that yesterday. We talking about, like, when you do business meetings, they always take you to dinner first. So I used to tell my kids all the time, when you do interviews, make sure you really pay attention to the surroundings, where they going with the questions, everything like that. Because usually, especially when you're doing business, they trying to figure out how they can take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to put a price out there, but it's not the price they really want to give you. So when you start running your mouth and saying little stuff during the meeting, they picking apart all the stuff they could take advantage of. So I was like, be well spoken, but keep it real short and simple. Keep them guessing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just glad you touched on that, because that's very key, especially with even in sports. Because look at these contracts these dudes getting now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that might be one of them one day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what was that moment that made you say, you know what, I want to start being the head coach?
I think it was just in me. I from however long, just being a point guard or a leader out on the field or whatever sport, I was always the guy in front. You know what I mean? Or always pushing my teammates, or asking the coaches for more, or whatever it may be. So I think it kind of evolved in my mind, like, it just clicks. I have a special, thing for that, and it works for me, and I love it. You know what I mean? I love the studying and the intricate pieces of finding new ideas and being innovative and things like that and seeing it work. So and I love kids, so it all just kind of plays like the perfect potion for me. So it's just something that I enjoy immensely. I love it.
And the feeling of you knowing that you're pretty much like a father figure.
Oh man, like and like I have moments where I think about like graduation. Like this year we're not able to have graduation, but to see one of my players walk across the stage, knowing in my mind what I've put them through mentally and physically, and to see them excel in that. Kind of the way we did this year, we made it athletically to the top of the mountain, and then you get that diploma. Like I can see that in my mind and visualize me hugging them and crying with them and loving the fact like we moving, we going in the right direction. You know what I mean? So those are the things that make me feel good about what I do. You know what I mean? And knowing that they're gonna call me later and say, "Coach, you ain't let me down. You told me everything that I needed to know. You did not lie to me. You just kept it 100, and I'm so prepared to be not only a student athlete but a man. Right. You know what I mean? A black successful man. Right. Like that's the thing that makes me do what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is there a set standard to remain on the team? You must have this grade point average or whatever. What is your standard?
Yeah, we as even as an institution and we kind of follow that guidelines of that. We're a little above Misha because I think Misha allows a 2.0, but we at our school you have to have a 2.5.
Okay.
You got to have a 2.5, and that's something. And even our grading scale at our school is a little higher. Yeah. So our scale is bumped up. So it's something that we put in place for the kids that this is what needs to happen. But then even during, the season and workouts and all of that, we have study hall. We have to be in certain places at certain times. And one thing that I tell college coaches and people, my program and how we run it is just like college. Mm-hmm. That way, when you take my kid from my program and put them in your college, it's plug and play. They're already used to all of the things that you have to do, getting up at 6 in the morning, working out, and then taking a shower, going to school, and then eating lunch, and then after school having practice, and then or after school having study hall, then practice or whatever it may be. So they already know what it's like. Mm-hmm. So it's not a hard adjustment for them. Because like even with Malik, we talk about Malik Davis. Malik Davis was one of my first seniors to leave and get a scholarship last year. He's the only freshman on Drury's college team to play. All the rest of those guys sat.
What?
Yeah, and he was the sixth man.
That's what's up.
But he was ready for that.
Yeah, he right.
You know what I mean? He was ready for that. Yeah. He was already. He knew what it took. He's already been through it, so it's an easy transition. And I think that's the part that I play in their life. You know what I mean? Just making sure that they're prepared for that next step. And I think that's what gets lost in a lot of coaching and teaching. So many teachers and coaches want to think it's about them as opposed to preparing and making it about the kid. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say.
And I believe his younger brother just commented, Malachi.
Oh, yeah.
Says, Coach RJ always want to see us win. That's what makes him different. Yeah. And it has to feel good to see one of your boys.
Yeah.
Pretty much speak praise about you.
Right, yeah.
They're getting the message.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And it has to be rewarding.
He's right. We're family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why would I want my family to be successful?
Yeah.
Right.
If we're working so hard and we're putting in all this time, why would I be against you?
Right.
You know what I mean? This is for you to be different than everybody else because it's so many people that look like you. Mm-hmm. There's so many people that can do what you do, but how do you separate yourself? What's going to give you that edge and that difference? So that's kind of what we preach in our program. So
that's what's up. And how important is it to have that relationship from coach, player, and teacher?
It's so important because not a lot of kids get it. We've had circumstances where kids have been in situations in other schools before we get them, and people pass them, not giving them any knowledge, give them any, help with having to be able to learn or whatever it may be, and it serves them as a detriment. You know what I mean? And I think that those relationships that you build through education and sports, they last like a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't break those bonds. So to have that bond that's forever, man, like we talk about having good people around or being around good people and talking with good people, like that's something that's rare. Good people, and then find good people and talk to them. You like to have that, and you want to keep it and hold it and make sure it's right. But it's not a lot of people that are good. You know what I mean, in this world, or do good, but they could be, but they don't. You know, it's a choice. And I kind of, I preach that to my kids as well as our parents. Like, this is a choice. To be excellent is a choice. You know what I mean? To work hard is a choice. What do you choose? Do you want the ladder? Then you're going to have to take what comes with the ladder. But if you want to be great, or if you want to work to be great, this is what you got to do.
Right.
Be different.
Right.
Not like everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like Nipsey say, man, the highest act is to inspire.
Oh, man, I love
And,
Nip.
man,
I love Nip. That's one of my favorite artists.
Man, that's what I said, man. Even besides the rap, you know what I'm saying? This is what he was standing for. That's what I'm saying.
He's
He got
the last person I listened to before I go on the court.
Yeah, okay. What song? Or
Or
do it matter?
It don't. I go through the first
that
four.
victory lap, you just let that ride for a
I go
game,
through the
yeah.
first four.
Yeah.
I have all a few songs that I listen to, but then the first 4 or 5 tracks, I just let it play, and then I go out there.
Okay, then.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my guy right there, yeah. So
Just
you
like you said,
when
the
you were
message.
saying that, all I'm hearing is Nipsey in the background, dog. I'm like, man. But
He got it still in him.
Yeah, but I'm just glad everybody can hear it because you echoing what we've been saying from day one. You know what I'm saying? I remember one of my first interviews when I actually shouted out your camp because a lot of parents asked me what's a good camp to put my kids in. And what I was telling them was the importance of sports. I remember I said as soon as they can walk or as soon as they can dribble without falling or whatever. I forgot the exact quote. But I was like, you want to get them in sports early because even if they don't play sports never again, they know how not to quit. They know how to grind it out. So when you're on your job and you got to deal with these different personalities and all this stuff that's in front of you, you know how to deal with your adversity.
Yeah.
And what you deal with through adversity defines your character.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
that's what everybody interviews you for. They looking at your character as well. So what you saying, man, you hitting dead on what we've been saying for like 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
When it's right, it's right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not an act. It's not made up. It always fall in line. So that's how it is with that kind of conversation.
Facts.
It just fall in line.
Yes, sir.
Once again, that's the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, and we have
B. Baker.
and Stan couldn't be here today. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He's
What
taking
up,
care of
Stan?
some business.
Yes, sir.
But we also have special guest, Class 3 state champion from Cardinal Ritter High School. We have.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson, man, here live and in person.
That's right.
It is.
Man, let me ask you a question real quick before you get to the next question.
Go ahead.
Did you ever hoop at Mount Moriah in Memphis?
Yeah,
Man.
absolutely.
That's how I got my scholarship when I went down there, man. Yeah. I went down there. I played at a church. I think I kind of touched on this last time, so I ain't gonna tell the whole story. But I played at a church. Dude came in. I was shooting by myself. He's like, you want to play one-on-one?
Yeah.
Did him. Also, he made a phone call. Like 10 people came up there. So Cedric Henderson that played for the Tigers at the time.
Memphis, yeah.
I ain't know who he was.
Okay.
So he came in there, and I tried to dunk on him. He just kind of looked like, hold up, man.
Right.
They're like, that's said. I'm like, man, who was said? I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? So they took me down to Mount Moriah. He kept running bikes around the court and all type of stuff. So I'm like, man, what's this?
Yeah.
So Penny came out. I'm like, oh, okay, they for real.
Right.
So dude came down, did a little move, hit me in the head. They ain't caught. I got mad.
Yeah.
Came down, just boom.
Yeah.
Coach Sales jumped on the court. Hey man, hold on, who are you? What school you at? And he gave me a scholarship right down the spot. So that's how I ended up down there in Memphis. But I ran into this cat on Beale Street a couple times. I think last time I seen you down there was at a Grizzlies game or something. So
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying.
You know, speaking of Grizz, you kind of remind me of Mike Conley.
He played like him too. That's what's crazy. He played like
You know
him.
what? Dang, he just said Grizz.
He was good play like him.
Mike
Yeah, he
Conley.
left-handed, fluid gentle.
That's another one I can add to.
So you got Tory Lanez, you got Mike Conley.
Right.
I done heard, man. I done heard so many things.
That's a good one. Yeah, he do. Yeah. And the fact that he hooped like him make it even funnier, dog. So yeah.
Natural born leader, man. Hey, love
yeah.
it. Let's see. Rashawn Pate says, Coach RJ definitely prepared me for my college career athletically as well as academically. Look at the big words.
Right.
Appreciate all the lessons that you've taught us.
Yeah.
Glenn Valentine says, state champ, coach of the year, stand-up guy. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, them my guys, man. And Rashawn said it, man. That's a highly intelligent young man. And to be honest with you, a lot of the kids that I have had, man, they're not just athletes.
Yeah.
Like these kids are extremely smart, man,
That's
and they
good.
got personality, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be their coach, and to have them a part of my family, and for me to be a part of theirs. So I'm thankful.
How and this is a question that we've asked a lot of coaches. How is it now coaching this generation of kids? Because you have the pressures of the social media, and you have the pressures of peer pressure around school, and just so much going on. One thing can make a child's mindset be lower.
Right.
Everything could get low. So, what's your thought process? How do you feel about coaching and being a leader of this generation of kids nowadays?
Well, for me, like I said, it's an honor. You know what I mean? Just to be even, have an opportunity to lead a group of kids, but you have to have an understanding of what they're going through. And, I'm gonna sit here and tell you, I don't have all the answers. You know what I mean? It's something that I study or I try to figure out, daily for myself. You know what I mean? How can I be a better coach? How can I be a better teacher? How can I be a better man for these kids? And some days you have your moments where you hit balls and you be like, man, damn, I can't get it right, and then some days are better than others. But I think kind of what B said, if the message stays the same and you stick to your guns about what you believe and what that foundation is, it allows everything else to kind of, play itself out. And I think that's the the key to what I do and what we do at Cardinal Ritter, or even what I do with any other kid, whether it's Witz or whether it's Brad Bill, Rainier, whatever, it doesn't matter. Wherever I've been, I think that's been my secret sauce. You know what I mean? Just stick to what I know and what I believe in and make sure I, keep pushing that message.
Coaching influences. Who did you follow a lot? Who pretty much taught you the game?
Yeah.
Who do you like? I don't want to say mimic, but is there a certain style that you liked a lot that you brought into your coaching?
Yeah, I would say as a youth, growing up, it's coaches that you remember and that I think one of the coaches that stand out in my mind from day one is Darryl Pee Wee Leonard. Coach Leonard back in the day when we played AAU for him, it was different. I've never had a coach like him. He was one of the coaches, like he would put his hands on you. And when I say put his hands on you, like he'll make sure check you in the chest or grab you, but it's not out of abuse. It's out of love and boy, get it going and let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fire. You know what I mean? And right now you can't have that type of fire, but I take that mentality of get into my kids and get into their mental and make sure I tap into their chest and get after them a little bit. And then, I think I take a little bit from every coach that I've had. Even my CBC coach, Bob McCormick, he was a showman. He knew how to talk to people. He knew how to, work a room. I think as a teacher and a coach, you pull something from everybody. Like, I always want to learn. I never can say that I've learned enough. I know it all. So, you know what I mean? To pull those, I love Greg Popovich. Coach K, me and him had the same birthday. He's a GOAT.
Wow.
Okay.
So, just I pull from everybody, man, and I just think what can I take from them and make my own style?
Right.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily do exactly what they do, but fit it into who I am as myself.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's definitely what's up. So how does it feel when you are meeting the Coach K's and the Caliperis and
especially at Peach Jam? I know you seen all
Right.
that.
Oh, yeah. Like he said, we even had lunch with Coach K here. You know what I mean? And just through, Jason and Justin and, and like you said, Peach Jam and meeting all these people, man, you feel like you want to be a part. Yeah. I feel like I want to be with y'all. You know what I mean? I want to be, this is my bar that I'm setting for myself. How can I get here? Let me hear the conversation.
Yeah.
Let me hear what's being said. Let me meet these people. Let me, rub shoulders with these people and let them see my amazing. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I could be up there with you. But I'm not right now, so I'm respectful and thankful for that opportunity and to hear that knowledge that they give.
You got an inside man, Chris Curlwell with Coach K, coaching staff. He can call the Red Alum, you know what I'm saying?
Red Alum, for sure. Yeah, he's like a lead assistant up there. Shout out to Chris,
man. He moving on fast, man.
He's been there. He's been to Marquette, then back to Duke. So, he's putting in his time.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. I have a comment here from Emery. Is that Warman? It says, this is E, high coach, RJ, GOAT. Got the basketball OG 100.
That's my man. That's Lil E. He's like in 6th grade right now.
All right.
And he's amazing, man. If you look at any of my pages, I do a lot of individual workouts with this kid. this kid works harder than any pro that I've worked out. Any pro. Work ethic, like crazy. Like he worked harder. I would put a high school kid in his individual workout just to push him. And he'll outwork him.
That's what's
you
up.
know what I mean? So I love seeing kids like man,
That Mamba mentality.
man, the kid, hey, he works so hard, man. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. Man.
Okay.
He says thank you for everything, best coach and trainer.
Oh man.
Shout out Lil E.
You brought him. You just brought him up earlier, like a second ago. Your thoughts on the passing of Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
What that did to you?
Woo, that's a tough one, man. That's man. To even, I guess, to see somebody 1 minute, you know, whether it's on TV or whatever, and then the next minute that they're gone, and then you're able to see highlights and, you know, people, whether it's memorial services or whatever it may be, and to see that the impact that they have on this world. That man had an amazing impact on basketball, not just basketball people, like life, you know, his influence on the girls' game right now. Like, he is, man, it's unbelievable in a sense, and it's heartbreaking. And to think, in my mind, I see that last minute or the last moment with him and his daughter, and they said that he was, you know, hugging her.
Yeah.
And to keep her from being burned, man, to even think about that is just, I don't know. Like, he's an amazing dude, man, and I wish he wasn't gone, but I guess, you know, we can't never discuss that with God. We have to take it and understand it, but it's a big thing, man, for him to be gone and not here right now. But people need to understand, even if through this pandemic, God is in control. You know what I mean? We get too, you know, beside ourselves with, you know, who we are and what we do and what, this guy's world.
Right.
So, you know, we just allowed to be here. So I think this guy's opportunity to take a time and take a moment to show who's who. Like, we need to refocus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even losing Kobe, that was one of them things that, damn, we might need to refocus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody can go.
He know how to get your attention.
Are we doing what we supposed to do while we're here?
Exactly.
And I think that's what I took from Kobe being gone, man.
Yeah.
So,
Well said, man.
the only game or games that I went to this past year was the Vashon Winter Classic.
Okay.
And one of the teams that played before the game, right before, was Cardinal Ritter, and y'all played against
Peoria, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed with the squad. Of course, y'all know y'all won state, of course, obviously. But I was like, wait, I just really wasn't in the loop. Like, this team is like looking good.
Yeah.
So, explain for those who may not know, or if you want to just boast about the squad, tell everyone about this past team, and then what's to come next for next season.
Well, for this team that we had this year, it started last year. And I think, you know, I've heard people make jokes and, you know, put in little group messages, Coach RJ might get fired or whatever, because my first year, we went like 1-7, 1-8. But the way I did my schedule and the way I do my schedule, my kids, like, we don't really play around here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So around here is you know, it's good, but we want the fire. Like, we want to be put in some extreme like distress.
Yeah.
I want to see how my kids are going to respond in distress. Like that first 7 games I think we went to, I started my first my first game of the year is in Houston. So we went to Jack Yates that first year, and then the second year, which was last year. But the first year, we went down there, man. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Jack Yates, but they're like the Vashon of Houston.
Okay.
So they call it keep it 100.
Yeah.
So they beat everybody by 100. So if you go in this place, like, you can look it up on YouTube or whatever, maybe it's a crazy place to
Beat
play.
you by 100?
That's their goal. So they used to beat people by 100 points. Like they run, like it's running like Phoenix on steroids.
Yeah.
So, and these kids are so athletic, and like, so I, you know, just in my time of being who I am, I meet people and you know, make these contacts. So that's my first game of the year. So we went there. We lost. We went to Arkansas, lost to a kid.
Y'all ain't lose by 100, did y'all?
No, hell no. We lost by about 10. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. All right.
So that schedule that we played that first year as me being the head coach was crazy, but what people didn't see was that team, once we got to, I think, the Legends of Winter Classic, we didn't lose again for like 3 months.
Damn.
We went on like 18, 19 games in a row and end up losing the district championship to Vashon at Vashon. You know what I mean? That's just something in itself, you know,
Right.
playing in that environment against those kids and my kids being so young at that time, which propelled them to this year. Again, same idea. This year we went to Jack Yates not only played them, we played another team down there. I think but it's a top. Sharpstown had a kid, a sophomore or junior, 6'9" kid, crazy kid. Beat them by 20. Beat Jack Yates by 6 in their place.
Okay.
So when our kids win it, they was locked in.
Yeah.
Like, man, I got a picture in my phone. I'll show y'all after this. But it was us versus Houston. You know what I mean? And my kids were locked in. So it set the tone for the year. We beat them, then beat Sharpstown, went to Eastside. I was down 2 starters.
That ain't easy to go there.
Yeah, down 2 starters, defending state champs in Illinois, beat them with a small, with not my whole team. And then, like I say, you look at that. Then we went to Bishop Miege, played another top sophomore, ended up losing, didn't have one of my better players. Gary Clark didn't play. Then we played John H. Geyer from Texas in Springfield. That's a nationally ranked team. So like our schedule, it says a lot, man, and it put those kids in a light and on a platform to where either you gonna do it or you not.
Right.
And so it prepared them for where it went toward the end. And if you notice, toward the end of the schedule, man, that state run, like, they started smacking people.
So
Yeah.
They started smacking.
I'm
Like, I've never
107 to 33.
Yeah, like,
Right. They try to put
like is that school still up?
right, like the Houston school. They try to beat cats by 100.
man, those last 3 teams that we played,
Christian,
Christian,
Blair Oaks, and Charleston.
Blair Oaks was the #1 team in the state the whole year. Had 2 6'9", 16
Golly, I
kids.
can't even tell that they were number 1.
Right.
Yeah, they were #1, and it was like it wasn't a comparison.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't compete with what we had and what we like. My second wave of kids was smacking them. You know what I mean? Just because of the experience that they got. And then the last game, which you said, watching the clock, the game wasn't close.
Yeah.
It was never close. Like, we beat them by 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't purposely or anything like that because my starters were in foul trouble. They fouled my first 4 out of 5 to where I had to sit them down. So I played my second unit. And they just got at him.
Yeah. Right.
And even particularly that game, we played the night before. We played after they did. They walked past us. Charleston walked past us and was like, shit, like, who are y'all? We want the V. Like, where the V at? So my kids heard that. They, we like, all right.
It's on after that.
Oh, my God. Take the wheels off.
Right.
Push it down the hill.
Ain't no more.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
It's what you wanted. And that's the highest margin of victory in a state championship game ever. And they asked for it.
Yeah. See?
They asked for it.
You asked for it, you got
Get
it.
it. You gonna get it. That's
So
it.
let's talk about players. I know you had some seniors that left.
Yeah.
So talk about them and then talk about what you have coming up for next season.
Okay, yeah. So we lost 5 seniors total, 4 that played, 3 started. Gary Clark, Jr. He's a 6'7", stretch 4 forward. He can inside, outside. Probably the best shooter I've had in my program since me being there at 6'8".
Yeah.
6'8", he can shoot it long range. Right now he's undecided where he's going, trying to figure that piece out. Brandon Ellerton, he's a 6'7", super stretched, long, athletic kid that'll jump over a building if you put it in front of him and dunk on anybody. Glenn Valentine III, he was my point guard. Ran the show, grew up so much for me this year. He did exactly what I asked him to do and more. he's undecided right now. And we've been with this pandemic just trying to figure out. These kids aren't able to get visits right now and go to these schools, and so they're doing a lot of this stuff via phone, Zoom calls. So, and then I got my other senior, Caleb Wilkerson. He's a 5'6", 5'7" guard. When you see a small guard, you think he's supposed to be a net. He's supposed to be a defensive stopper and electric.
Yeah.
That's him. You know what I'm saying? That was him. Yeah. So right now he's undecided, just trying to find a place for these kids. And then also Corey Brandon, whose dad played at Creighton back in the day. He was a killer.
Okay.
But he's more of a soccer player, so he's not really entertaining basketball. But those other 4 kids right now, we about to find a place for them to go. So and then to bring the kids that I'm having right now on my team, I got, as you can see, Luther Burden. He's probably a household name right now as a sophomore. He's a 5-star football player. He's got offers from everybody in the country.
That's dope.
As a sophomore, everybody in football. And then not only that, he led us in scoring through the stretch. Like, this kid played USA basketball. He was an invite there. He did that as an 8th grader and all of that before he got into high school. So he's not only a crazy football player, but he's a crazy athletic basketball. Yeah, so he's a starter that we bringing back. And then Mario Fleming, who was our leading scorer, he was a junior last year. They call him 1K Rio. Shout out to Rio and his family. He just lost his father a week ago. Not even a week. Yeah, about 3-4 days maybe. So shout out to him, but he's a gifted scorer, man. He's led out. He started as a freshman for Cardinal Ritter. When he initially got there, he's a junior going into a senior. He's been a starter as a freshman. Since he's been there, he's already eclipsed 1,000 points as a junior. So he already did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's a very gifted scorer, very talented kid. He's coming back. And then we got we call him Big Peach, Joshua Robinson. He's a 6'9", 6'10" kid, junior.
Christ. Right.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's got Division I offers already.
Okay.
Kid developing. He's gonna be a monster in the middle for us. Nigel's coming back that we spoke to as well. Another 2-sport kid. Elias Harris, they call him Biscuit. He'll be taking over at point guard for us. All of these kids played.
I mean, this is a deep roster.
Yeah,
I mean,
they got a lot more people on there that shouldn't be.
Okay. I was like,
I got some. And
I was like, how do you manage it?
Right. Baseball, man.
Yeah, we got some kids, man. We got, Willie Davis. Robert Lewis is an unknown kid that people don't know about. He's working with his grades right now. He's a 6'8" kid. Yeah, man, it's a lot of kids on there, man, that's just hungry.
Yeah.
And we're waiting on their opportunity because they work behind the same kids that's in front of them. They saw what it's getting them. So, I'm excited about next year. We already got an invite to go to the King Cotton Classic in Arkansas. So if you know about Christmas tournaments in the United States, is the City of Palms in Florida, and then after that it's the King Cotton Classic. So it's in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We got invited to come down there, so we won't be in the Legend of Winter Classic this year, which we won the year before, and then we came in second this year. So we've been in the championship game since it's been in existence. So we won't be there this year, but it's these kids earn this opportunity to play these crazy games. So I imagine us having another crazy schedule this year as far as, with the team we bringing back.
Do y'all, do you see ESPN knocking like, hey, we want to get y'all broadcast?
Yeah, actually, we're in the Norm Stewart Classic. We're probably going to play Whitehaven out of Memphis.
Yeah,
they beat Trinity last year by 40 with the team that they had, Ryan and Rashad. So we'll play them at the Norm Stewart thing, and I think that game may be on ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something that we're looking forward to too.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. Yeah. Once again, it's the Platform Sports Talk Show. This has been such an incredible show so far. Shouts out to y'all tuning in, y'all doing the likes, the shares. We appreciate it. Few comments here. Lance Young Sr. said that's a great preparation, coach. That was the biggest adjustment for me going off to college. Earlier, Marcus Robinson Payne, congrats, my brother. Great year with you, alumni coach 97.
That's one of my assistants.
Eric Cooper had that's a fact. Marcus Robinson Payne, 50-piece mafia. He has Ritter went in 96 to the King Cotton Classic.
Yeah. That's a place that they've been, and you know that's a place that we want to go. And
shout out to Lance, put my high school jersey up there, 33.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. So once again, great interview. Did you want to go ahead and
Yeah, man, we got to get into it, dog. All right, so just especially because we talked about it last week. So we talked about that cross the middle option because you was a receiver.
Yeah.
So think about the times you got blew up the hardest.
Yeah.
So who was you more mad at? The coach, the quarterback, or the defender?
I would say probably the quarterback.
Thank you.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying? 3 for 3.
Yeah, I would say the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're the floor general and you're the quarterback,
you see it coming.
Yeah, you're supposed to see and place that ball in a place to where I'm not going to get slapped.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you would definitely have to blame the quarterback.
Yeah, I ain't talked to my quarterback for a year after that. Like, only if we had to talk.
Right.
Shout out to John, man. We cool now, but man, I'm talking about you talking wanting to kill somebody, man.
Yeah, that's
oh man, that's what made me quit, dog. I was a hooper after that. I was done. Yeah, that was it, man. That was it. That was it. Yeah. So
woke up. All right, I'm hooping now.
Yeah, I'm a hooper, man. Forget this. This is what they be doing. I'm like, but I always saying, I'm down, dog. I'm down. Everybody jumping on the pile. You all bent up at the bottom. Like, come on, Ralph, get the ball. Let's get. Come on, man. I'm down.
Get the ball for me.
Yeah, man. It was crazy.
Louis Davis says, B. Baker, what up, bro?
What up, Will? What's up with you, dog? We just got done talking about you, man.
Yeah.
The best mid-range game I've seen, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
For sure.
And what's up? Before you continue with your questions, when an opponent, when the opposing team, whether you go to their place or they come to you, what is something they gonna say about your squad?
Prepared. They if they not ready to battle, they not gonna come. Like my kids and what we bring to the table, like we ready every night. You know what I mean? Our motto is to go 1-0 today. So whatever we got to do to go 1-0 today, they know my kids are gonna fight. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I will say that they will say about us.
Without hesitation.
Yeah, no hesitation.
He jumped right into it.
Right.
Prepared.
Yep.
That's what's up, man.
So for y'all, just so y'all know, this is keep it a buck.
You know what I'm saying? Like he said, they talk about keeping it 100 in Houston. We keep it a buck in St. Louis, man. We keeping it all the way 100 with RJ. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I've been seeing you play for a long time, bro. I always respected your game, and I don't remember you making a lot of mistakes. So I can't wait to ask this next question.
Okay.
Which is, what was your most embarrassing sports moment? I'm talking about the one that you just like, man, if I had one time to go back in time, just erase it. Like, you just want to fold up and nobody's seen it. Like, you hate that moment. That one.
Man, to be honest with you, B, I don't think I have any. But it's one time.
There it is.
You see, I ain't heard
It's always like that,
One time. Okay. So when I was playing football at the University of Memphis,
Okay.
I returned a punt against East Carolina. I'll never forget it. So I caught the punt and I started going up toward their sidelines on the left. So I'm running. And like you said, you know, just being hit. This was the first time I ever got hit so hard that my eyes crossed.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get them to uncross.
You saw that white light.
Man, so I'm running across the field. You know, I'm trying to get to my side, and I'm banging myself on the head trying to get, and it's like it ain't working. You know what I mean? So they had to drag me on over to the side, but at that moment or back then, that's no concussion protocol. That stuff wasn't real. So I mean, I'm sure I had a concussion.
Right, I'm pretty sure you did.
But I was in on the next play. You know what I mean? So that's just how it went. But it was just that moment, man, of being, I ain't never got hit that hard ever.
Yeah, we was talking about that last week, too. I dabbed to me in boxing. I made a mistake and left that jab out too long. The dude came up under me, and I remember nothing else that happened.
That's it.
Yeah,
Be
so,
like that,
man.
I would say that. They're being cross-eyed, running all the way across the court and kind of leaning. They
it's
like,
happened a couple times.
Yeah, so I would say that.
Okay, all right. So my next one gonna be, because I know you had a lot of battles, bro, like with everybody.
Yeah.
So who was the toughest person you had to go up against?
Basketball-wise, I would probably say high school Joel Shelton.
Okay.
Vashon.
Okay.
That was one of my toughest opponents that I ever had to go up against. You know, we battled, like you said, and we talked about often in the summertime, Forest Park or wherever it may be in gyms where, you know, Beaumont, wherever, like we done been places and like we always got after each other, you know what I mean? And it was, you know, a mutual respect and love, you know, we always, even to this day when we see each other, we always hug each other and tell, you know what I'm saying? So it's always like that. That's the way that it, you know, those battles created that bond.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I would say Joe. Yeah.
All right. Well, my last one, he gonna hate this one. So you was in a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Street Ballers. We shouted it out before, but he was one of the main actors in it. And you had to kill somebody.
I had to kill somebody. Yeah.
What school he went to?
Damn.
What school did he
go? The dude you killed. What school did he go to?
Oh, he was at Vashon.
Oh, okay. All right.
Vashon.
And he coached that right there too. Okay.
I had to kill him.
Okay, so you killed him. So you killed Vashon in high school. You killed him. You know what I'm saying? In the movie.
Yeah.
You killed it up here on the show.
Oh man.
It's a couple of Vashon killers sitting here at the table, man. Like, hey, man. You know what? Give it to y'all.
Last week, I think John Albert said you had your one shining moment. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Man, it's all love.
Hey, competition breeds competition.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's what it's all about. You know, you should not be scared.
Tone, for sure.
You should not be scared to see people next to you or in the same division getting better.
And I would say, you know, kudos to the V. They've set the standard for a long time.
Still doing it too.
Yeah, so to be the standard, and that everybody's trying to achieve or get to, that's high praise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're trying to get to that stage right now. We want to be on that level that they're on. They're there. You know what I mean? They go to the City of Palms Classic.
Right.
They go to all these different places that we're trying to get to. So we're trying to make that step as well.
Yeah. Just to expound on that, man. Like I said, just if y'all ain't checked the movie out, like I said, look it up. It's funny because you see this brother's temperament right now, just to see the role he had to play. He said,
but don't push me.
I'm like, the CBC guys, the bad guys, it's getting good, man. So,
shout out to Craig too for that.
Yeah, man. He got another one getting ready to drop, man. He been putting some stuff on Facebook together and stuff, and he got a couple of short films he been putting out there. You know what I'm saying?
Individual,
yes, sir.
He's been doing it for a while. So,
man.
I'm, proud of him and what he's doing too.
Craig Thomas, and he was a hell of a player.
Yeah, shoot the hell out the ball.
Man,
shoot the hell out the ball.
That dude used to shoot from half in open gym, bro.
Yeah.
Like for real. No, him and Mark Perry.
Yeah.
You talking about Steph Curry before Steph Curry? That was them. Shooting, I'm talking about as soon as you cross half. And Gary Buchanan that went to Valley Park and going to Villanova.
Yeah.
That's the first cat I played against that they set a pick at half court for him. So he just come out the pick and fired him.
Right.
I'm like, man, them cats was shooting though, man.
Legit shooting.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. What is your thoughts overall? I know we talked about in regards to the inner city pretty much, but what's your overall thoughts on high school basketball right now?
In our city?
Yes.
I think we're coming. You know what I mean? I think we're trying to catch up to the rest of the world. You know, a lot of those guys, we use the analogy all the time. In St. Louis, kids would just rather go to McDonald's, where in other states, kids want to be McDonald's All-Americans. So right now, we got Caleb Love, you know what I mean, or Cameron Fletcher, and these guys that are making noise on a national level. So the kids around here are like, man, these are guys that I bump shoulders with.
Yeah.
Like, where do I get in, or how do I make that step, you know what I mean? And I think, with teams like Cardinal Ritter and Vashon and CBC and those Sean Minaj, taking trips and going to play these people in different areas, that allows our kids to have that opportunity to show what they do. You know, and I think high school basketball as a whole in our area is coming up, and it's coming up fast because of the competition level, whether it's coaches against coaches and the players versus players, and just want to be the best. I think that's a conversation that's happening now, and people are, you know, in tune to that and want more from it. You know what I mean?
And it's always good when, like you said earlier, you're seeing the Coach K's and the Calipari's and the Roy Williams. They're making these stops all the time now to St. Louis to see what's happening. I know that you may not have control at all in regards to their decision making to the next level, but do you feel it's important to have people stay local in college, like going to Mizzou, going to SLU?
For us, I mean, we always yell St. Louis, a home team, or Cardinals, and things like that. You know, that's a you know, something that we think would be nice, but at the end of the day, those coaches at those programs have to put forth an effort. You know what I mean? They don't put forth the type of effort that they should to get these kids to stay home. They don't. And that's why they don't. I mean, even back when I was in school, you know, you got plenty of kids that were great athletes or whatever it may be, but they just didn't put forth the right amount of effort that they go everywhere else when you're right here at home. Like, you got an opportunity. You're right around the corner from SLUs or whatever it may be. How many times have you guys come by? You know what I mean? Or like, we got 6'7", 6'8", whatever it may be, kids that would definitely play at your school. Man, could be great. Could be so but these coaches, you know, for somehow they always, I guess when you're in it, you may overlook it. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think that's things that coaches across the country kind of hit the nail on the head with as far as recruitment. Like, I can't send a kid to Texas because the kids in Texas are being looked at first. Whereas if you talk about Missouri and St. Louis, the kids in Texas are being looked at first, and the kids from St. Louis are being looked at last, unless you're a five-star kid. When y'all don't all have five-star players on your team. You know what I mean? And these kids, and the piece as a college coach, as a recruitment tool, you have to understand, if I get a kid from here, then that's more fans.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm putting more people in the seats. But these ain't them type of institutions.
So what you think the next step for that should be? Like coaches clinics, like meet and greets, like...
To be honestly speaking, I think they need to give an opportunity to one of these up-and-coming high school coaches to be the coach at a SLU.
There you go.
Or at a Mizzou.
Just like they got Corey Tate over right now, you know what I'm saying?
Like put somebody in place
homegrown.
You know what I mean? And let them try it. You let everybody else try it. You know what I mean? See if they can get it right.
That's what's up, man. Here we go.
Yeah, man. Hell of an interview, bro. Straight up, man.
It's love.
Man. All day.
Thankful.
Man.
Definitely appreciate you, man. And once again, for those who are tuning in, thank you very much. We're not over yet. We got one more segment that we got to talk about before we go, because it was on the flyer. On the bottom right, you saw a man with the logo.
Oh, man.
So let's talk about this episode 3 and 4 of The Last Dance. So,
man,
pretty much, I'll bring a little rundown. We know Rodman was Rodman.
Sure.
We'll talk about that in a minute. There's still bad blood between Jordan and the Pistons.
Forrest Grant got the best quote over there, man. Straight up bitches. Man.
And then, of course, between him and Isaiah Thomas.
They ain't gonna never change.
He got a whole new meme out because of how he looked at the tablet. Phil Jackson being the mastermind that he is.
The legacy just continue to get better.
And how, now I know episodes 1 and 2, Jerry Krause was like the big villain. But on 3 and 4, he actually was showing a good light because
and that's what I said last week.
Because of the smart moves he made by acquiring Phil Jackson.
You got to give him his credit, man.
And acquiring Phil Jackson.
Drafting Scotty.
When Doug Collins, I didn't even know this, but Doug Collins didn't want to do the triangle when he had Texas Winter trying to
Yeah,
show him.
he took him off the bench.
Right. He like, man, I ain't trying to do that. We just have Jordan hold the ball and control everything.
And let him do everything.
Right.
He said that in the interview. That's one of my favorite clips of him.
Yeah.
Like, that's just get the ball to Jordan, everybody get the F out the way.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, yeah.
So we got that in
Right.
regards to how Phil Jackson started learning from Tex while he was assistant coach.
Right.
And I pretty much like that,
Built that rapport.
how Mark Jackson was the head coach, lost the job, Steve Kerr
It
came
wasn't nothing
in.
like that. That is nothing like that. That ain't go nothing like that. Mark Jackson was railroaded, booted out of there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was a gift for Steve Kerr.
They gave Steve Kerr that job fresh out the office, the front office.
You know what I'm saying? He ruined Phoenix.
He was never a coach.
Yeah, and he ruined Phoenix, and he ain't got that head coaching job.
And he turned down the
Yeah, he
Knicks too.
did. Yeah. So,
But yeah, so then,
Man.
so like I said, we talked about that Horace Grant situation.
yeah.
And then once again, the rivalry between Chicago and the Pistons was deep. And then also in regards to how Jordan had to realize that I can't do it alone.
Can't do everything.
You know, people always saying, "Oh, he just a one man band." He was he proved on the first episode that without Scotty, he wouldn't be where he is right now.
Yep.
But then he also realized after Phil came in, it's not just about you holding the ball all the time.
Yeah.
That triangle offense was created to better enhance the other skills, like what Pippen said. Oh, when I did the triangle offense, that gave me what confidence.
Yeah.
He going to the hole. He's shooting. He doing this. He doing that. Gave people like Kerr open opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, when Horace Grant was happy
He had to get
at the
Stone
time.
on first.
Right.
Steve Kerr had to get a black eye. He got his money though. Yeah.
You know, but it just gave more opportunity for guys, and so they gave Jordan more opportunities, and not have to spend as much energy.
Right.
Man, bump that. The most humbling thing in the world is getting punched in the mouth. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody want to be the champ, they get punched in the mouth. You ever want to see somebody get humble, watch them get their ass whooped. And watch how humble they, everything changed.
Yeah.
Detroit hit that man in the mouth several times.
Several times.
You know what I'm saying? And your homeboys.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what got them. And then when they got in that weight room, refocus, and you know, and the weight room, like the weight's not as big in basketball as people think. It's the confidence that come with it. You see your body change, you feel stronger, and this, and that. It don't change your game, it changes your confidence. And you see all them weight training together, you know what I'm saying? Scotty was in there, Mike was in there, Horace Grant. You see Horace Grant getting pumped. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was a couple times when Larry Bird, like, he was walking away looking and still. I'm like, Horace Grant even went look for the ball, he open. That dude was just standing in the corner like, I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think, what you said is true, but I think really was, you know, Mike was just like, man, if they're going to load up with 4 people sitting in the lane looking at their chops, looking at me like, I wish you would come down this lane. Because we going to do it every time. Right. And we got all 6 fouls, like, so it's what you said, but it's also with Mike saying he was going to get injured playing that way too.
Yeah, so just the points that I brought up, what else did y'all take away from The Last Dance?
Whole lot, man. Like you said, just to go off of what you said, like I watched every single Michael Jordan Bulls highlight, home video, everything. Right. And it's still stuff I didn't know about them.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching episode 1. I was at my cousin's house, and I barely was paying attention. I'm like, man, I seen all this, man. I'm like kind of yawning, not paying attention. That's why when you brought up the Scottie Pippen clip, I'm like, wait, where was that? Hold up. Because I was kind of not paying attention. So now I'm more focused on 3 and 4, and I'm just seeing stuff, and I'm hearing stories, and I'm like, man, I did not know all this stuff was going on, in part because no social media was involved at the time.
Yeah.
If it was.
But I don't even think they would have got caught up in that neither because of that group. Because like you said, Phil Jackson kept it all together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can see even with the media being all around him, even Dennis Rodman, as crazy as he was, he never went on those crazy tirades in front of the media and say nothing about his teammates, say nothing about partying. Yeah. Like he kind of kept it low key. And I think probably the funniest one was Carmen Electra.
Oh, yeah. Mike knocked on
Man, she said she had to hide. Yeah.
Hey, that's Jordan, man. I ain't gonna be seen looking like a, looking like a, you know what?
I think that they got all those guys at the right time. Like you said, Jerry Krause did a hell of a job, but you know, Rodman was a professional. He was, everybody thought he was different and crazy. Like even the 33s in his head, everybody thought that was a leopard.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
He had 33s in his
Yeah.
head for Scottie Pippen. Nobody knew.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Everything was intentional. You know what I mean? Just even how he, he studied the game, and as a defender, that man averaged 30 points a game in college.
Man.
Right. He was a
But he
beast.
flipped the switch.
Right.
You know what I mean? He flipped the switch and had a specialty. So, but those, it was a professionalism about that team, and they just wanted to get to that next level.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff being said. Now, I will say, what a little different than what you saying, B. That last piece going into maybe, what is this going to be, 5 and 6, where they talking about Horace Grant and him spilling the information to the news people, whatever, on the inside stuff. Now that stuff happens. You know what I mean? That stuff does happen.
Yeah.
So how they handled it, I want to see that, because they did, because they still eventually won.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that stuff takes a toll on guys when you can't trust them and they telling stuff. So yeah.
Real quick, shouts out to Champ J.
What up, Champ?
He says a good one.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
What's
it.
up, bro?
So did Dennis Rodman actually start the, what you hate, load management, because of what he did?
No, because it wasn't games missed.
Yeah.
It wasn't games missed.
He did miss some games.
It wasn't like that, though. Load management, that's every month.
Right.
Like twice a month. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, shit, I'm tired.
Right.
I'm out here dying. It's a picture where this man full on.
Swim
Come on,
on,
man. Them guys don't play hard like that.
Yeah.
Right. He need a day off. Him too.
He used to guard Shaq. Like he held Shaq to 0 points in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So
I don't think that's load management. I think I need a
Pop
day
still,
off.
I think Pop still created that. I'll still say the Spurs,
Pop,
the first team that ever
Pop
did that.
Yep.
When Tim Duncan, and they was older players, so I get it.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? But
he did.
he started that, and then look at the baby he created with that. Because who the king of right now? Kawhi Leonard.
King Kawhi.
You know what I'm saying? So he learned it from inside out. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
And what are y'all thoughts, for those watching, what are your thoughts on The Last Dance? Let us know. Give us the comments before we end the show. So it was just amazing how when Rodman came back and how Jordan explained they had that, what's it called, the Indian drill? So I think you said pretty much you have everyone running the lap, and then
I hated that
person
drill.
in front.
Oh my God.
Everyone has to go past the guy. So they
You
got
talking about a fight could break out?
Yeah.
Let the dude take too long to get to the front. Because y'all will go a whole lap before you get up front. You like, bro, come on, man. You trying to slow down without getting in trouble.
right.
So
Man.
that fool was in a full sprint.
Man.
So the person who was trying to catch up to the front couldn't catch up to the front. And Dennis knew what he was doing. Very intentional. Very intentional about his mindset. How y'all doing this drill because y'all think I'm not in shape. When my turn come around, I'm going to show you.
Right.
Break you.
Different.
Jordan told everybody,
Man.
hey, don't run as hard. Just kind of slow down.
Yeah, all right.
It
He
took
don't
4
know how to do
laps to catch up to
You
Rodman.
don't know how to do this.
Crazy.
You don't know how to do that.
And then how Rodman explained how he would, have people to shoot the ball from anywhere, and he'd be able to know, okay, he's
How it
shooting
bounce
from
off
here,
the rim.
how it
Yeah.
spin. I mean, that is a skill that it takes time for you to master it, to look at tape. You know, this is before you have, let me look at my cell phone or iPad and see this and that. He looking at a freaking 12-inch, 13-inch TV sometimes.
Or memory.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows how incredible of a guy on the court and off the court.
Yeah.
having Carmelo,
That's what's crazy about his
having Tony
stamina.
Braxton,
Yeah.
having Madonna.
That's what's crazy about his stamina, though.
Yeah.
For him to drink the way he did, party the way he did, stay up all night, and still come in the morning. You seen clips of them messing with him coming into practice.
Yeah.
But once they blew that whistle, he was ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan had to go get him out of his room a couple times, everything.
Yeah.
So
They knew he was ready.
they knew he was ready, yeah.
Once again, talked about Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons. Did Isaiah Thomas make any valid points at all
Nope.
on why the handshake did not go down?
Well, when they transitioned, when he brought up the point that the Boston did them the same way, and they showed the clip, it made sense. To me, it did. But I still think, like anybody else think, they was just petty. You know what I mean? They ain't want to show no, they ain't want to mess with him. But the Celtics did do him like that, but it wasn't quite like how they did it.
Right. Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They took it, but you know, it's like anything else. They take it to the next level.
And that's what I was going to say. It was the same but different because they walked past their bench.
Right.
Like Boston went out the other side. That's totally, you intensely walked past us without dapping us.
That was
talking down. Come on, man. I was like, I'm like, man, I know somebody. I can't believe nobody just kind of like shoulder check nobody. Just like says,
these, like, y'all for real?
Yeah.
And then like Jordan looked kind of dumbfounded. He was like,
for real?
Yeah.
They gonna do this.
Yeah.
I just shook y'all hand 2 years in a row, and then y'all gonna do it.
Right.
That's probably why he ain't never let him win again.
right.
And he ain't no more on Dream Team and all that kind of. I mean, he froze him on the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just been like that ever since.
Respect.
No.
No respect. I ain't got nothing for you.
I thought Shaq held grudges. Jordan took the cake.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jordan takes the cake.
Well, he got more valid reasons. Shaq be holding grudges for dumb stuff.
Yeah.
You a grown man because somebody else called themselves Superman. Now you hate the dude.
That's
Shaq, I don't take him serious because I feel like he's sensitive, but he a jokester at the same time. So, Mike, he ready to kill. Yeah. He like, bro,
it's like that.
It's like exactly.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Killer instinct, man. They don't make him like that no more, man. They don't make. So, do you feel that after watching what the Bell Boys did during that time frame, how they knew that they were hated? You know, they knew that the league wanted to see like what Isaiah Thomas said or Magic said, from seeing Larry Bird to Magic. No, John Shelley said that. From seeing Larry Bird to Magic, and then knowing that the league wanted Michael to shine, do you think the game needs more bad boys now?
Why not? Why not? I mean, it makes it interesting. To be honest with you, I just don't think these players these days, they're not built like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they could be. It's too many rules against it.
Now that's true.
So how could you be a bad boy in this era when everything's a tech, everything's an ejection? You know what I'm saying? So how would you even go about doing it?
Perfect example of somebody that's a bad boy. That's like he faking, like he acting.
Yeah.
Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the nicest guy, nicest kid I've seen. I watched him work out at Michigan State. He wasn't like that, but he figured out like shit. It ain't a lot of bad guys. Why don't I just be the bad guy? Like he get more publicity and attention for being like the guy that's got the edge versus, you know, old Draymond coming out of Michigan State.
Right.
Like he never played like that.
He's riding the bench then too.
But he like Rodman, he found that specialty. You know what I mean? That's his specialty now. Being the guy to make the passes, do the dirty work and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So
only one I could think of, man. Well, two, Patrick Beverly, number one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because,
that's legit, though.
Yeah, because he know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? He do it strictly on the court.
Legit.
But he know how to just, he Arkansas kid, so you already know. Like, I mean, in Chicago dude, but he went to Arkansas.
Yeah.
But he just got that edge to him. You know what I'm saying? He know how to do the chippy stuff, like kind of like what Dennis Rodman used to do with Sean Kemp. If you look at the 96 series, every time you seen them, they both had their hands up. Like, you know they guilty because they just stand there like this.
Looking crazy.
And that's why Frank Bukowski got thrown out every game. Rodman, he couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say him on defense, on offense, Russell Westbrook. He just make himself mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna give it to him, he just pisses himself off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So them be the two that I can only think of if you gonna have a quote unquote bad boy right now. But
what about Joel Embiid?
Nah, he a faker too, man. He's soft.
He the new Shaq.
He too sensitive.
He the new Shaq. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
He the new Shaq.
Yeah, he'll be tough one game and the next game he crying. So it's like the jig is up on him, man. We know who you are. We know who you really are now. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't you.
All right, y'all. Once again, the Platform Sports Talk Show. That was thoughts on The Last Dance. Get ready for episodes, 5 and 6?
Yep.
This Sunday. I definitely will be tuned in. It's going to be incredible. I believe they said coming up, they'll be talking more. I think Tony Kukoc will be more featured. I think he's more on the side of Jerry Krause. So I look forward to.
You would be.
Yeah. So I look forward to seeing that. And like you said before, Horace Grant should be interesting. And I hope they get more into this time with the Dream Team for a minute. Maybe they do.
Well, I don't know. because they more focused on Bulls than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? They made it kind of seem like it was going to be a Jordan documentary, but it's really about the championship run.
And then I know they had a little clip of him talking to Kobe during the All-Star game in New York. So that should be dope too. So
definitely much needed right now where it's no sports.
Man, it's all we got right now, man. Straight up.
So speaking of which, as a coach, what are you doing right now to get these guys, just make sure they in shape still and everything since, the virus?
I think just show and prove. Like, even myself, enticing them to get out and work out. Like, I'll go run 2 miles and post it. You know what I mean? Or let them see a video of me working out. Like, I ain't just telling you to do it. My old self out here doing it too.
Right.
So let's get it. I encourage them to share, everything that they're doing, whether it's workout, schoolwork, or whatever it may be inside of the app that we use called GroupMe, and we just, connect with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then talk about it over Zoom and things like that. So we try to keep that, like I say, it don't stop for us. We behind, so we trying to catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how I feel.
Well, so speaking of that, so what's your thoughts on this keeping in touch with the social media?
I was gonna bring it up, but
go ahead. Yeah, well, you go ahead. No, go ahead and finish it. I just wanted to bring that up because Coach got let go because of that at Roosevelt.
A few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had Trey Porter, Coach Trey Porter, on the show, and he explained his side. Just pretty much saying, because he came from a small rural town near Malden, Missouri, and I've been there. It's like 4 black people there,
right?
But it's a community, so you could say ooh, ooh, and they can hear it, right? You know what I'm saying? The voice carries,
right?
So he brought that to St. Louis, and he's all about community. So he would rather, reach out to his guys, whether it's social media or whatever, to see if they got a ride home or etc. He'll go and pick them up, take them, whatever, to make sure that they were safe. He looked out for the guys. But and if you saw the news, he got canned by Misha, by the league, because they said it was pretty much a policy that you should not have been going interacting with these kids as much as you were on social media. So he got fired because of that. Because he wanted to look out for his boys.
Right.
Something that, like I said, you would do at a small town that would be very well appreciated.
Right.
But you come to St. Louis, and the previous, I think previous year, they were like 1 or something. Yeah. The next year,
turned it all the way around.
Turned it all, just like Gardner Reddy did. Right. Turned it all the way around. They start seeing the progress. Those people start seeing the progress, and like, hold on, we gotta find something to let's see if we can dig some dirt. And so they dug in and saw that he, how Facebook or whatever, you have mutual friends or whatever. They started seeing that he was friends of this guy, that guy, and that's how he pretty much got canned.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I find that I think it's something more to the story than that.
And especially now, because like you said, and like he brought up, everyone now is using Zoom.
That's the norm.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it made news. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that may have been what they said.
Right. I know what you said.
But I feel like it's probably something a little more to it than that. With being in a public school and outspoken coaches, if unsaid things or whatever it may be, it's it could have been something that he said or a point that he made over and over that they may not have liked, and they chose to use that as his out. It could have been something like that. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it, but I just find that to be hard to believe. You're gonna have to fire every coach.
Right. Yeah. And same thing he said, because he was like, once the school system is back, seasons are back, whatever. Yeah. Or the start of the school year, whatever is back, everyone should be fired because everyone's using social media some way, somehow.
That's the biggest tool in the world.
Yeah, because even, that's what the kids use right now. We help them use to even be recruited. You know what I mean? You repost or post, you know what I mean, or whatever it may be, highlights or game film or things like that. So I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. I know Coach Porter. He's always been a stand-up guy. So to see him and all the work that he put in to let go in that fashion, it definitely didn't seem right. So
And it's
I
kind of
wish
like
him well.
he's getting low key blackballed.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
that's what I'm saying. In situations like that, I feel like maybe you made somebody mad, or you upset somebody and they took it personal, and they doing personal things
something
to
as
you.
small as you just didn't kiss nobody back.
Yeah, you know how it go.
Too.
Yeah, you know how this world is,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And I just hate, like you say, he's such a good dude that I know of. You know that he would be put in that position where he can't do what he love to do because of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's tough.
Yeah, because we was very impressed with the interview and how he felt about the youth. You know, they need that.
Yeah.
They need that. I thought you about to say something.
No, that was it. That was it. I just wanted to see what his take on that was, because I'm gonna just say one thing. Like I said, when I used to coach, that was like the tool, but I cleared with the parents first.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I friended them first.
Yeah.
Then I got the kids on board. You know what I'm saying? And I used it to my advantage because we was on Snapchat, and I started seeing them post little stuff that the parents didn't see. I'm hitting them up like, bro, come on, dog. Like, this ain't you.
Right.
This ain't what we stand for. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And things that they shout out to Champ, who just commented that was the head coach, and so it was a tool for us to interact with them even more than what we had the time with them we was practicing and doing. And I noticed they started coming around more because of that, because they didn't know who I was when I first came in. Coach Champ brought me in, and everybody was kind of like, who is this cat? You know what I'm saying? I had to play my role, you know what I'm saying, because he the head coach.
Right.
So, I slid in and did stuff when I could. But I feel like that social media outlet opened up a lot more stuff, because now not only do they see the stern side, they see the fun side to you. And they see that you just not this dude that's just telling them what to do. Like, nah, bro, like, do this, and then we can have fun. Do this, and then this the end result. Do this, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So it help you connect with them on top of the fact, like we brought up, what if their phone get cut off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's some kids that don't even have like telephone service.
Exactly.
So the only thing that they're able to
Wi-Fi.
connect through is through Wi-Fi
Right,
and
they can
social
go to a
media.
library or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and then even just to kind of piggyback off that, like one thing we teach as far as social media is talk about that carbon footprint.
Yeah.
How it's there forever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you have to be particular about the things that you post anyway. You know what that looks like.
I am so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother, you know what I mean?
So this is my point of view, because I followed him his senior year, and then when he went to Mizzou. I'm talking about Mario McKinney.
Okay.
So I followed him on Instagram. I followed him on Twitter, and I noticed that he would post a lot of different stuff on his feed, especially when he go live. He'll throw up a little gang sign this and saying the N-word all the time and doing this and doing that. And I'm like, he realized that you got 2,000, sometimes 7,000 people looking at your feed. You know that it's going to be a coach, on your team looking at the same feed as everybody else.
Right.
And not saying, because they never brought out the reason why he was let go from Mizzou. But I know that had to be one of the reasons, because it wasn't a great representation of that school. So as you pretty much was about to say, in regards to how you should manage your social media account, you can't think about just my boys and people I know from high school gonna be watching this, my family gonna be watching this. No, you're gonna have some 10,000 other people who you don't know at all, but they're gonna be tuned in like, is that how you roll?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like that may have caused him to be booted out of Mizzou.
And it very well could be. I know Mario. I know his dad. I don't know exactly what that situation, how it played out. I never asked. That's their business. They can handle it that way. But I think, and what I see a lot is how kids, and not necessarily just kids, but adults, they get a lot of this stuff from adults. Everybody feels like they're invincible. Right. Or they can't be touched. I can do whatever I want and nothing's gonna happen to me. I done had all these accolades. I
got a full ride.
I can do whatever I want to do. When in actuality, that's not the case. People just be waiting on you to mess up, or waiting on you to show that other side so that they can't have a reason to take you out. You know what I mean? And that's, I think that's another thing that just, you keep talking to the kids and preaching to the kids that, you know, it's bigger than you.
Right.
So whatever that little piece in your mind, you think, well, let me show out one. It ain't about that. You know, you gonna get what you'll just do if you do it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just keep it. But that social media, it follows you forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So like even like with Mario, you're saying his coaches saw it. But what if, you know, you talk about kids like that, you're looking to be, you want to be a professional, right?
Exactly.
So those execs may be
Exactly.
watching it, and I'm not gonna take him. Why would I take him when I could? He's trouble. Like
Right.
this is what he's into. Like, you know what I mean? So it could be seen either way. Like you have to be particular about how you move.
You can't have this I don't care attitude,
Yeah.
or, you know, like you said, I'm better than the world, whatever. Now, because you got another top recruit that's right behind your tail trying to take
Want
your
the
spot.
same thing.
You know,
Want the same
so
thing.
hey, you know, for those who are getting into the college years coming up, you can't do what you did in high school and college.
Yeah.
Nah, better not.
You can't do it.
They expect growth. You
Right.
can't
do it.
expect, you know what I mean, you to come in there and be sound in what they think. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
You're a grown man when you go to college.
All right, Malachi Davis says, great podcast. Thank you very much, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate
Once
it, bro.
again, 3 years strong in the game.
Yeah.
A lot of growth. Check out all of our previous shows on Facebook, on YouTube. You'll see where we came from to where we are now. It's all about providing a platform for our guests,
people.
for people to be able to just give us their point of views.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that's what we're here for. So we're all about making it happen, and I definitely appreciate you being on the show, man.
man.
It's a pleasure, man. I love being here, man, talking with y'all.
Yeah, man. Definitely a
enjoy it.
pleasure. Our very last segment is called The Final Say. This is pretty much something that you just have from the heart that you want to let everyone know. It could be about sports. It could just be about life. B, you want to go ahead and go first, and then once he hears you, he can kind of
Yeah.
get the vibe and like, okay, now I know.
I'm gonna split mine in half. The first half of it gonna be about be a star in your role. If you ain't pay attention to The Last Dance, you see Dennis Rodman was a star in his role. He was not bigger than the team. He can go 0 points, had 20 rebounds. He knew his defensive reads. It never was about Dennis Rodman, and so on and so forth for the rest of the Bulls roster. You know what I mean? So you can be a star in other ways besides what people would tell you that you got to be a star. You don't have to average 20 points a game and be defensive player of the year, this and that. You could be the dude that hustled the hardest. You could be the dude that be the extension of the coach. You can be the guy that, you know, just kind of get up under the skin of the opponent, you know, just kind of give 10 good minutes and play hard against the star of the other team to help us win. So be a star in your own role, just anything in life, but particularly in sports in that situation. The other half of it is Todd Gurley pissing me off.
Uh-oh.
This dude got the nerve to try to wear 21 in Atlanta.
I saw that.
So,
But, you know, and I didn't realize it, but the previous either cornerback or running back from Atlanta, True Fine had 21 already.
that's what I'm
too.
saying. So, they the only team. Well, I don't know if they the only team, but they got where they don't retire jerseys.
It's like 3 teams. I
Yeah.
think it's the Cowboys,
But-
the Falcons, and the Redskins that they don't retire numbers.
But I'm particularly mad because Deion himself asked him not to do it. So I don't see the rhyme or reason behind it because you was 3 in college, you was 30 and you know what I'm saying?
Now
So
you're
where 21 come from? And why
2 +
you,
1.
come on,
Damn.
man.
I just thought about that.
Well, he could have did that, you know what I'm saying, when he was with anybody. But I'm saying my thing is kind of like when Jordan and Vince Carter thing in the All-Star game. Remember, Vince was supposed to start.
Right.
But out of respect, you know, he was like, nah, this is Mike last game. You know,
After a lot of backlash, too, though.
after a lot of backlash. It's true. I wasn't gonna put it out there, but that's the asterisk that's on there.
Hey, keep it a buck.
Yeah, so now Todd Gurley got the chance to do that because here come his backlash.
Right.
So we're going to see if he go through with it. But from what I understand, he taking it like, man, forget that dude. You know what I'm saying? So have respect for your legends, especially because you from there.
Right.
Like, that's what's crazy. So that's my final say right there, man.
All right, Coach.
Yeah, I like B's final take, especially the first part. That's something that we like in our program. We give our roles.
Yeah.
Like we call it a movie, and each player on the team is a particular character, and we give them their role, and we ask them to do that. So that you know, I found that very interesting, and I'm sure my kids do as well. But my final say would be just. I think when you talk about life and you talk about the state of the world that we in right now, I think people need to get a little more in touch with God.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And just understand that higher power and what that covering looks like. You know what I mean? I think as a society and as a world, we're just a little we drinking our own Kool-Aid too much, thinking that we control everything. It's up to me. I'm me, and you know, that type of deal. When you know, we got to get back to what's right and what's real. You know what I mean? And God empowers and places His hand over us and protects us, guide us, and all those things, man. So I think we just got to get back to that, and I think that may lift us out of this particular situation that we're in. You see guys we share messages and they send the people out in O'Fallon Park. They're supposed to be at home and they out there with guns and I'm going live and like all of that stuff that's not necessary when people, God will let you know when it's time. Like we see people like that, they don't last long. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, and I think that as a society we should think a little different, move a little different. You know what I mean? We'll get a different outcome. So, I just think that we need to get back to that God spirit and that covering, man, and just be good with that. That's what I think. So that's my final say.
Malachi Davis says, in quotes, play a role.
Yeah.
Unquote. Yeah. Whatever it takes to get the win. Ha, Coach RJ. Signature quote. There it is.
Man.
Yeah, and just to add piggyback off of yours, man, how you said these people are out here at the parks doing this, doing that, and a third.
Yeah.
My thing, I'm just going to preach patience, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Learn some patience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God got this.
Yeah.
Let Him do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Point blank and simple. Patience. You have to have it because you can't rush the process. You can't rush what God is doing. That's the reason why we're going through this pandemic right now. But you got to have patience because if you don't do that, you're going to continue to make things worse.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So with that being said, man, the Platform Sports Talk Show. Next week we have another legend.
Yes, sir.
He'll be here. I'll confirm that if you be here or on the phone. But we have Rodney Bond. He'll be on the show. Yeah, he was a big star for Gateway Christian High School.
Yes,
man, hey, when people back in the day when you heard Gateway Christian, the first person they always said was Rodney Bond.
Yeah.
So he was on our show a couple years ago. We was on the rooftop downtown. He'll be in the Getaway, get more of his story, his journey. He's been through so much from college to traveling overseas, playing. Remember slam ball?
Yep, slam ball.
Did that. He did some karate.
He in the 7-Up slam dunk contest we talked about last week on Instagram. I'm still mad about.
So yeah, there's so much, man. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been fun.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave the information to our pages and everything after the show. But Coach, state champ, head coach.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely appreciate you.
Bless.
B. Baker, once again.
Yes, sir.
Doing your thing, man.
All day.
And Stan, we'll definitely see you next week. Make
Yes,
sure, once again, on all the pages that you share our page, subscribe to it on YouTube, click on that
bell,
because anytime we go live,
we'll be notified.
It's your boy Smooth from the Platform Sports Talk Show along with
B. Baker.
And once again, holding things down for Stan. And we have special guests.
Coach Johnson, man. Thank you.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Because when it's about sports,
it becomes our business.
And business has definitely picked up. We out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
God bless.